everybody. Hello ladies and hello gents. Palm Springs Cindy coming to you from my living room. A few days ago, I was watching one of LisaLisa's videos, and it was a video that had one of the segments, well, it was a Q&A themed video. But one of the questions led to a conversation on heartbreak / heartache. And it really caught my attention. And Lisa did a great job answering, talking through the lady's question about relationships and about heartbreak. So I must have watched that video a couple of times, and I even took notes because it really did give me a few ahas. And I'm going to share some of those ahas with you in this video. Now, this video has two parts. The first part is my commentary, I'll say, on LisaLisa's video, and the second part is my fashion show. And in fact, it's my dancing fashion show. So you have to stay tuned for the dancing fashion show. About 8 areas of conversation, 8 topics I kind of narrowed it down to that I want to share and talk about with you that have to do with relationship and relationship heartbreak. Now, as most of you know that have been watching me, I am 70 and I recently got a divorce after being married for 43 years. So I have had quite a few significant changes in my life, and my YouTube viewers have been right along there with me. But I got to thinking, the words that Lisa shared with her audience don't necessarily have to do with a male-female breakup relationship. It could have to do with any kind of a relationship that ends in heartache. Some people are widowed, some people are divorced, some people have loved ones maybe that have moved far away, or for whatever reason their relationship has just broken down. So when I listened to this conversation, I realized it wasn't just about men and women and heartache. It really could encompass a lot of different types of relationships. One of the topics Lisa hit upon was a topic that I'm calling "Don't Look Back." And I think that's really wise. I know that I have a tendency to look back on my marriage and focus on just the good times, or remember the sweet moments. And as long as I'm looking in that rear view mirror, so to speak, I'm really not able to see what's ahead of me. I'm stuck in the past. I have certain songs that I linger and listen to that remind me of the past, that bring me into a real sad, melancholy state of mind. And so the idea of catching myself, don't look back, I think is really important. The opposite of that, well, what goes along with that is focus on the future. So yes, sometimes I think, I'm 70. It's not like I'm 20. Really, how much future do I have ahead of me? I've certainly lived more years than not. And then I catch myself and I think that's silly, because I still have many, many good years. And so do the rest of you who are watching this that are near my age. So when I think of focus on the future, I think, and some of the things she did talk about was create a new future for myself. Create new. And in many ways I have. I've created a new home. I've created a new community. I've created new just circumstances in my life. I've made new friends. There's just even, day-to-day busyness, grocery shopping, post office, retail therapy, all those things that I do now, exercise, are all in a new facility, meeting new faces. And so I'm going to be looking for new places to volunteer now that COVID is over. And so look into my future. I still have a great future ahead of me. And so do you guys that, like I said, that are sort of in my predicament. Another thing that LisaLisa talked about was sometimes when I look back, which I know I just said I'm not supposed to, but when I think in terms of my future, will I marry again? Will I fall in love again? Would I want to? Would I ever find a man that I would love in the same way that I loved my first husband? And one of the things Lisa said was that we can love differently. So probably I will never love anyone the way that I loved my ex-husband. Any kind of love that I have in my future will be a different kind of love with a different kind of man. So I liked the thought. It opened my mind that instead of thinking, love for me is over. The kind of love I had in my first marriage for 43 years, that's behind me. Well, maybe it is, but I have a new kind of love ahead of me, a different kind of love ahead of me. And so I think that gives me hope, and that helps me to create a new future for myself. Another topic that Lisa brought up was to invest in ourselves. And I have invested in myself in some ways. I've invested in a new home. I've invested in a new car. I've invested in a new community. But one way that I really need to invest in myself is in my health. I've gained weight, especially over COVID. I stopped exercising. I started, just snacking more and developing really, really bad habits. And I can blame COVID, but really I have to buck up and invest in myself, invest in my health, invest in my weight, invest in my exercise and my daily, my just doing better about eating healthier and starting a healthier lifestyle. I know that I complacent over COVID, but it's time to invest in myself, pull myself out of that, no excuses, get a little bit of self-control and move forward, making that investment in myself. What else here? Learn from mistakes. And I will say I have been learning a lot from my past mistakes, especially when it comes to my relationship with my ex-husband. Looking back, I will confess and I will admit that I too often focused on the negative, things that bothered me, and not enough on the positive. I too often focused on what would not be in my future versus what I already had. I think that I kicked to the curb certain goodies, certain goodnesses in my relationship, thinking that not realizing the value. So for example, even though I love my home, I also left a beautiful home. Even though I love this new area, I also left a beautiful area. So I think I've learned from mistakes in relationship issues in the sense that I could have been more patient. I could have been more thoughtful. I could have been more focused on what was good and not so focused on what wasn't. Oh, another one, this is really good. Two more, and they're really good. Forgive myself. Yes, I can say that sometimes that's easier said than done, but oftentimes, too often, I even wake up still in the morning, and for that split second, I wonder, where am I? Did I really get a divorce? you know, why aren't I in my other bedroom? You know, whose house am I in? So, you know, there are things that I have to forgive. I may have made some harsh decisions. I may have made some wrong decisions, but I have to remember that I did not make those decisions in haste. And even if they were right, or even if they were wrong, I need to forgive myself for, you know, hindsight 2020. It's easy to look back and say, you know, if that had been different, if I had reacted to that in a different way, if we were able to compromise in that way, maybe that heartbreak and heartache would not have landed on either one of us. But the reality is, I'm here now. I am divorced. I am in a new home. And so for whatever mistakes I made, I do have to forgive myself. And the last topic was, Lisa mentioned to celebrate. Celebrate your victories. Celebrate my victories. So if I go to Pilates for an hour, you know, don't just, you know, shrug that off. Celebrate that you know what, I just finished 1 hour of Pilates. Yay! Or, you know, I took a walk around the block. Yay! Celebrate the newness of my life. Celebrate the new creation and the future ahead of me. Celebrate that, celebrate all the good that I have going on in my life, my health, my family, my loved ones, my friends, my beautiful home, my church community, my trilogy community, my loving little pet, my little Shelby. So yes, celebrate the good. And with that, I just have to say, and again, thank you, Lisa, for that wonderful conversation. Such words of wisdom. And you are a lot younger than I am, but you really, like you even said in the video, you could just talk about that, go on and on. And I almost wish you had, because I would have listened on and on. So anyway, thank you again. And for those of you who are hanging in this video with me, stay tuned for the dancing fashion show coming up next.
Give you up for but baby, you're not. She's a roller coaster. Oh, she's a flame. I'm burning up inside, but I can feel no pain. I won't try to stop her. She can't be tamed. I'm so in love with her. I fall and try again. No, no, I ain't giving you up. Get up and try again. Giving you up. No, no, I ain't giving you up. I get up and try again. Giving you up. No, no, I ain't giving you up. I ain't never gonna give you up. Giving you up. No, no, I ain't giving you up. No, giving you up. No, no, I ain't giving you up. I get up and try. Giving you up. No, no, I ain't giving you up. Get up and try. Giving you up. No, no, I ain't giving you up. No, giving you up. No, no, I ain't giving you up. No. Love the way you make me feel good. Love the way you say my name. And how I wanna fill my whole world with you and no one else. And now our love will make us so much better. There will be no more lonely nights. Baby, if you let me try, I'll give you what you want. Here comes the down times when you go blind. You say that I'm just wasting my time. You say you're too hard to handle and full of doubts. Say that I should give you up for someone better, but no, she's a roller